to do here today is I'm going to
What were you flying?
break down.
9F4.
We'll break down my dogfight for you. It was an excellent example, and horrible with names, great with faces, but I cannot remember the name of the cat that brought it up. And it's something I've been wanting to do, but until this guy kind of.
The fuck is that?
I have no idea what I was talking about right there.
I needed about 20 more miles an hour, and I would have been able to pull my guns ahead of him on that one turn when he was right with you.
Yeah, I rotated around there, and the stall horn was so loud I couldn't hear if I had WEP on or not. I think I kicked it off in the way up, but I put it right back on. I just a little bit more, I would have had him.
Now this film right here.
And I was dodging him when them spuds finally contacted.
This film right here is going to be the latest Let's Fight installment. So you'll have this video to watch.
3 is not bad. I can live with that.
And then you'll have this breakdown of the fight. So what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna skip forward a little bit, and I'm gonna wait until I'm into a dogfight, and then I will break it down. We'll watch it, we'll back up, and then I'll walk you through what I did.
Something coming in from 64.
Okay, so we've apparently gotten into a fight. I remember this one. P-47 come diving in. I went to dodge him, and he hit my radiator, and then he spiraled. Something happened, and he lost it and went all the way to the ground. But we'll run it back, and I'll show it to you.
I can live with that.
All right, so I'm heading towards this con. He's coming in towards the deal, and you can see him. He's a black dot right in my right above my reflector gun sight. You can see a black dot coming in. And so I know I don't have the altitude, so I'm not going to try and climb in here. I'm thinking maybe it's a bomber, high altitude fighter. I know it's a fighter. I don't know what it is, so I'm going to head towards it and see what it is. I'm going to maintain him in my little window there that I have, so I can see him. I'm going to continue to head towards him, and then I pull up my map here to take a peek and see where he's going. But I can see him. So first thing I did was I got rid of my drop tank. I like to tote 50% fuel in a 109F4, and then a drop tank. The drop tank allows you can buzz around, do whatever you got to do, and then you can get rid of it, and you've got enough fuel to do a big fight, and you can fly home. You got gas. All right, so I get within range. I see a P-47. First instinct is heavy on ordnance, going to attack. But I'm gonna attack him first, so I'm heading towards him. So right now, I know that he's kind of cutting across in front of me. So I'm going to keep my nose kind of down, and I'm going to just watch him. And I'll start slowly kind of easing up, but I'm just kind of turning with him. And apparently I messed that up when I edited my film. Oh, and anyway, for whatever reason, he had enough of an angle on me to put a round in me, and I was pulling up into him. He should have actually missed, but for whatever reason, he still hit me, and got my radiator hit, and then he spiraled all the way into the ground. And then
I can live with that.
boom, he went down. So with a radiator hit, typically you could turn your engine off. Well, you still can turn the engine off, but you could run it the same way.
Engagements I've ever seen right there.
You could run it the same way as an oil hit. Now you have typically a minute to 2 minutes to get your butt back to the house. On the right hand side, it's on the right hand side of my gauges. I can't even speak this evening. Right hand side, you see 2 red circles and one that's yellow and red. The top one, the topmost on the right hand side with a red circle around it, is temperature. You have about a minute.
This dude just jumped me with his P-47M, and then he was pulling so hard he blacked out, and he spiraled all the way from like 15,000 feet to the ground and died.
Pretty funny to me. Anyway, so with the radiator hit, your first deal is you're fighting till you die, or you're getting back to the house. Luckily, I was pretty close, and you can run a radiator hit back to the house. I've ran some radiator hits a long way, and it's very, very difficult. Luckily, I was very close, and I was able to just shut my engine off and save it. The temperature will run down, but since you've lost all that coolant, as soon as you turn the engine back on, it'll jump back up and it'll run to the red line.
Yes, sir.
And so it's best to keep that engine alive so that you have powered flight as you're landing, and then keep an eyeball on it so that you can turn it off quickly just before it, red lines, because you'll see it's running into the red right now. If it makes it all the way to the end of the deal, done. You blew it up.
Yeah, his first pass, radiator hit.
All right, so we're going to do a little skipping ahead here.
Yeah.
Back in the air again.
If you happen to get that close, say.
All right, here's a P-51.
Bye. Christopher Walken says hello.
All right, so you just head on my dad there and put an oil hit on him. So I know he's passing by, so I'm going to pitch up into him. I'm going to start to pull. Actually, let's watch the fight for the first time, then I'll walk you through it.
I missed. He's diving on you again.
Yeah, I'll curve back under.
Roger. Hello, P-51. I'm behind you. Turn around. I'm trying to kill you.
Y'all got to tell me how the Christopher Walken thing sounds, because I really wasn't too sure about that, but it does sound pretty damn funny, personally. There's my Coke. I was like, where the hell did my Coca-Cola? It led scum.
Oh, he suddenly realized there appears to be an enemy behind me. Yeah, not such a badass now, are you, son of a bitch?
Ready for home.
Alright. Come on, P-51. It's just you and me now. There's no one else. But you know you can't win.
I know it needs some work. I'll have to start watching some movies with Christopher Walken in them.
Cause you're a punk.
Closing on him, Voodoo. He might break.
Roger.
Just let you know, this is a typical pony engagement. Come in there, I'm going to dice it up with you, and then I'm going to haul ass. They never look back. 9 times out of 10. They just run.
Where's my mouse cursor? Of course it is. It's not patented at 51.
Let's skip ahead and see if this catter turns around. I can't remember. I think he runs all the way back to the house.
Zach.
Oh, no, he didn't. That was a horrible head on there by me.
That was pretty piss poor shooting. I was paying too much attention to other shit. I should probably focus on this aerial combat that's going on in front of me instead of at the text buffer.
Guess I'm gonna try this again.
Yeah, Roger. I wasn't focused. I could have shot him. Here we go. It's not gonna make a horrible sniper. He's pretty predictable.
Ooh.
Oh, that hurt him.
Ooh.
That's a marvelous sight.
Oh, the shit I say sometimes.
Let us know how that water is down there. Oh, they gave me the kill.
Oh, damn. I don't even remember half the stuff I say. It's just
Well,
like
Shane killed him. Yeah, Roger.
It's like on a whim. I just say it, and hell, I'll
Change
forget
it
I
up.
even said it.
Yeah, Aka.
Anyway, let's run back here and see the beginning of this fight, and I'll walk you through
Yeah,
what I was thinking. Alright, not quite.
It was pretty close. Here he comes back.
Tally, I see him.
Okay, we're going to mute this, and I'll just talk to you. Alright, so this is what I'm doing. I see the aircraft, I see my dad, I know my dad's braking to the left, and I know the 51's coming at him. So I'm going to shoot for a point in between them, probably about his 4 or 5 o'clock so that I can whoop him behind him. I'm keeping my nose down so I can maintain my speed, because I know he's going to be fast. So now I'm going to try and cut the angle, and I'm going to see if he's going to break back to the right into me, which he should if he's smart. So right now I'm reducing throttle, and I'm going to try and put the nose in front of him and squeeze off a shot blind. I miss. Not bad, but I did miss. Usually blind shooting is a little bit better on my part, but I miss right there. So I continue my turn, full throttle right now, and I'm diving the nose down. And I'm pointing at my dad, because that's where the 51's going. So I'm going to where the 51's going to be, not where he's at right now. So I'm going for a point in between. And I'm going to cut the angle to get him off my dad. So dad whoops back underneath me, so I have to cut throttle really quickly and brake under and into him. Now I'm going to try another blind shot as soon as I get pulled around here. And I've got throttle all the way off now, probably all the way increased with wet. And I'm going to pull up into this guy. And I'm going as quickly as I can. And now I'm going to start shooting. I'm trying to make a shot. Now I have hard left rudder to try and compensate for his roll in the middle of that turn. Now I'm probably mid-throttle, max throttle now, wep. And now I'm pulling up and ahead of him. He probably just got pinked a little bit there. And he's doing some really crazy maneuvers. And so he's pushing a lot of invert. It's real difficult with me on my side to try and combat that. So I tried to do it with some rudder, but it didn't really work out. As far as shooting right here, typically I'll just pull ahead, find a point in front of him, and squeeze and let him fly into it instead of trying to maintain that. Now I knew the tracers were coming from Dad. Because there wasn't anybody else in the area, I probably should have looked, but I didn't. So I continued trying to make shots out to about 800, which is foolish. But sometimes it's just one little ping, and you'll take a wing off. So I continued to shoot at him, and it was fruitless. So I was going to follow him. 51s, as soon as they've been outmaneuvered, their high point is their speed, that they're able to run away. Now, they don't have excellent acceleration, but they're fast, and they maintain that speed. So the best way to do it is to pitch up and away and start climbing and watch them. And half the time, they'll pitch up and come back at you instantly. They'll just pull up. Now, they'll be able to outclimb you at that speed, which is fine. I just want them to come back and engage me. 9 times out of 10, a pony's going to run. Half of that, about 4 times or so out of the 9, he's going to come back at you. The other 4 or 5 times, he's just going to run all the way to the house, not ever going to check up, and you'll never catch him. Unless you have someone like Shane who's fast enough to catch him. So what you do is you put your nose down to try and get as close as you can when this guy makes this 51 break. And you use this guy to your advantage. My aircraft maneuvers well. So I know that Shane is going to close on this guy, and this guy is going to pull violently up. And then he's going to try and cut back into me. That's what he should be doing. So that's what I'm going to assume he's going to do. So Shane is closing on him. I'm trying to go as quickly as I can to get as close as I can so that I have the ability to take advantage of what he's fixing to do for me. And so now I'm just closing right now. And Shane's going to start firing at him. And here any moment, you know that he's going to whoop up. Now I'm dinking around because I know I'm still way too far out. And there he goes. He breaks violently up. Usually with a little rudder or something, he's going to roll back around, kind of emblem, and he's going to head back at me. So I'm prepared for this. So I'm going to take a shot. Well, I saw my name, so I was like reading and starting to shoot at the same time. And then I tossed in some rudder, and my controller wasn't calibrated. So I had some really crappy shooting there. So I completely missed him. And he was really nervous, so he completely missed me. So here we go again, same game. I can't catch him. Shane can. Shane's got turned around, is diving on him, is chasing him. So again, I'm chasing him as quickly as I can so that I can take advantage of Shane turning him for me. So I continue to close. Shane starts firing, kind of a little burst. Cat's going to suddenly break. And then this time Shane's ready for it. And Shane has enough time to cut his throttle, do a little roll, and the 51 kind of hung there, and he lost a wing. But luckily I'd put enough fire into him that they'd given me the kill. So I was able to get some revenge for him shooting my dad. And then of course my little snide comment about telling us how the water is. And that is a breakdown of that little fight right there. I'll tell you what is I'll go back to the fight film from before, and I'll walk you through that dogfight, which was a pretty good one. I shot down 2 out of 3 attacking aircraft, not on my own, but with some assistance, and it was a pretty good dogfight. I'll walk you through that one with this. Just hang on. Okay, here we are. This is the fight just before that last film. And it was in this fight. I'm with my dad and another guy, Shane 720, in the same area, fighting the same guys. And we're running into 3 aircraft. I believe it was a P-51, 109K4, and some other goober. He was in something. You'll see it. Anyway, I'm gonna bounce it forward. We'll watch the film, and then I'll come back, mute it, and walk you through what I did.
Fight to the death, is it? Very well.
That was a Nicky.
K4 is back in. Low pony coming in too.
Roger.
Pony's coming back.
Tally.
Play with me, never mind.
I'm closing. Down.
What on that back? Alright, baby.
Tally.
Oh my goodness, sir. How's that water down there? Should be fairly warm this time of year.
The shit I say sometimes.
Get a little out in this jug here.
That Roger.
That goes to show you, man. I've flown Spitfire, K-84, 109F4, F4U. Totally disproves old Goober Dick's theory about, airplanes and such.
What he'd said was that you had to stick with one plane.
I'll shoot you in the face, you're sadly mistaken.
Was that you stick with one plane. till you consistently get kills in it, and not change planes a whole lot. It's bad for you, or that you couldn't do it. It's not good. Some crap.
Dang. Just didn't have it.
Damn it, man. Bailing out. Oh, now I got a parachute sound. Damn it, man. But
Alright, so we're flying back across the water here. Oh, I won't turn the sound all the way off. Anyway, flying across the water here. I was dinking around doing something. Noticed that the two aircraft were south of me, so I turned to go south. And pretty routine deal. Now, I'm gonna go ahead and make a point right now. What I was doing with that K4 is called a stall fight. Essentially, it's an E-fight / stall fight. It's a game of angles is essentially what it is. When you get into that deal, it's a gamble. A lot of times, I believe that I have enough E to pull off this maneuver to stay out of your guns. It being a game of angles means that I can perform a stunt that's going to keep me out of your guns and force you to stall yourself to where I can shoot you. And as with gambling, sometimes you win, sometimes you don't. In this one, I didn't win. It happens. It wasn't a bad deal. It was a good game. Oh, it was AFK. That's what it was. I heard the microphone click. All right. So I go to start the engagement. There was no reason I wasn't going to climb because I like to come in at whatever my normal speed is, about 310 miles an hour is what it looks like. I want to come in with my max E, so I have plenty of speed coming in. Can go ahead and make my first maneuvers and then decide what I'm going to do from there. So I come on into the fight. I see a lower than me 109, a slightly higher than me Nikki.
fight to the death, is it? Very well.
So the comments, and I notice the 109 goes up. So my first focus is the Nikki. He's close to me. He's trying to engage friendlies. He's the first target. So I start to pull into him because I know he's pulling up, and then I notice that he's pulling away from me. So I roll back to the right, drop my nose back down to keep an eye on him. And I thought he was going to complete the roll, which he didn't. And he didn't even notice I was in the same country. So whip on, full deal. I lay into him with a good burst. Nothing happens. Fuel leak, of course. And I just go ahead and maintain my one notch of flaps and speed all the way on whip on. One good burst right in the cockpit. And poof, gone. K4 came through. I wasn't paying attention, but he didn't have the angle on me, so I rolled back to the right, a notch or two of flaps, one notch of flaps, and I cut throttle, rotate, lots of right rudder to get that roll in, and I cut the angle on him. Him being smart, he continues and goes away. I put a burst out at him, couple, didn't have any visible effect. He went going, it went on. No way for me to catch him in an F4, so I let him go. I rotate back to engage 51. It's engage my dad. 51's going away. Dad's to the left. So I go to line up on the 51. 51's rolling back to the left. And I'm going to just follow him.
Sally.
I notice that Dad's making a left-hand turn. That the 51 makes a sudden angle. And so I notice that the 51's going under me. Cut throttle. Rotate. Lots of right rudder. Left rudder, rather. And I rotate on around. They come on around. I notice the 51's going up. Whip on. Full speed. I knew I had a piece of him, so I just held the trigger down. Whole tail come off. And down he went. look back a couple times, verify. Sometimes you think, oh, I got him, and then he just flies off, and you're like, oh shit, apparently it was just some small piece, whatever what I thought it was. It was a full tail that came off. He just went down.
Oh my goodness. That water down there should be fairly warm this time of year.
Here comes the K4 again.
Take it, Shane.
He makes a shot on Shane, ends up getting him. And Shane goes down. K4, just like he should, whoops through, makes a kill, and then buzzes out the other side. No problem. Doesn't stay to engage either of us. Dad in a 47, me in a 109 F4. So he starts to go away. An excellent call. Go ahead and make some altitude because that's what he's doing. He's going for altitude right now. So I'm going to go for altitude right now.
That goes to show you, man. I've flown Spitfire, K-84, 109 F4, F4U. Totally disproves old Goober Dick's theory about, you know, airplanes and such.
Rotate 109 starts to pull back around towards me.
109, if you don't think I'll shoot you in the face, you're
He
set.
dives under me to dodge a hoe, but I throw right rudder and burst out in front of him, and I do lay some ammo into him. Doesn't seem to affect him. Then we go into a stall fight. I'm wept and full throttle. I'm pitched up into him, and I'm using left rudder to try and match his angle, along with some positive and negative on the stick. Very, very difficult shot to try and perform there. As I roll out, I know that I don't have enough airspeed to go up with him, and he has plenty of airspeed. So now it becomes a game of angles. Wep and full deals with one notch of flaps. I dodge him the first time. Roll over to scissor with him. He scissors into me. I just don't have the energy to pull up into him. So I pitch up because I know one of us is going to stall first. I thought I could get him. And with 2 notches of flaps,
Dang.
I stall first. And he's on me. So now your deal is to try and dodge him because he has that spud gun. And so you're just kind of trying to do as much as you can to keep those spuds away from you. Whatever you can do. Well, this go around it just didn't work out.
Man.
And I lost a win.
Bailing out.
So I went ahead and bailed out.
Oh, now I got a parachute on.
Anyway, that's a walkthrough of a couple fights there. What I was thinking.
If you don't fly an aircraft consistently, when you do get in a situation like that, you'll make a small mistake like that, like misjudging your E by just a little bit. But you could do that with almost anything. But 2 out of 3 is not bad. 7.10. Anyway, I hope that you enjoyed this, and I hope that it helps you you younger cats out, and maybe some of you older guys are coming back into the game, and maybe you're a bomber guy or you like to fly GVs a lot. Anyway, I hope that it helps, and I hope that y'all enjoy it. As always, leave your comments or suggestions, things you want to see. I know I need to do a 410 video, and I've done a little bit of work with the Stuka, but I haven't done anything substantial with it. I need to just get it out there for a day and really film some good GV action. And if there's any other vehicles or planes, excuse me, any other planes you'd like to see, just drop me a message or put it in the comments below. And rate and favorite the videos if you like it. That shows me that y'all, you know, which ones you like, which ones you don't like. And if you have